go. This is Emily C., my new bestie.
I hate the idea that someone out there hates me. I even hate thinking that Al-Qaeda hates me. I think if they got to know me, they wouldn't hate me.
This stole the show. Emily C. was phenomenal.
There's something you need to know.
What?
You're doing great.
For our first witness, the defense calls Matthew DeSoto. Mr. Jackson, how much longer? To a reasonable degree of engineering certainty.
Look at my baby. Here she is. Emily. 10 out of 10. Huge fan.
I see Emily C. says 123. I trust her. She's really good.
He destroyed, left nothing in her path. It was so good.
Did that work? Am I really doing this? Hi, everybody. I actually can't believe I'm really doing this. Am I live? Oh, yay. I'm doing this. Yay. This is so fun. Thank you for coming to my first live show. I'm going to just take a second and figure out what in the world is going on. Did you see my little intro video? Like, did that all work? Did I figure this out for real? This is so fun. Hi, everyone. I can't believe I'm really doing this. I can't just like back out now. I'm Emily C. You might know me as John DePietro or Michael Morrissey or Judge Doolin. But today I'm just me, and I'm so excited to get to hang out with you guys. I called this Who is Emily C. because I was cracking up after the Wilbur show. Every time that people were doing a recap, it was like Melanie Little was recapping, or Nurse Kim, or The Glare, or Jimmy Turtle Boy. They were all doing their recap, and they would get to the part where it was talking about the roast, and then the entire comment section was like, wait, who is Emily C? Like, who is this person? And I thought the exact same thing. Like, I was up there on stage with Bedero and all these like amazing people, and genuinely had no idea like what my life is anymore. So I just wanted to come on and introduce myself. And okay, Zach, here's a deep breath for you. This is weird though, because like I know you guys are there, but you know, like during COVID, when they am I allowed to say COVID on here? When they would do those Zoom calls where it was like one person talking, but you could see everybody else. I wish that I could see all you guys, because that would feel less weird than just talking to myself. But yeah, I wanted to introduce myself and tell you how I ended up here. There you guys are. So feel free to ask me any questions so that I'm not just rambling to myself. And this is probably going to be short, but I have a lot of ideas of things I want to do on here. I just wanted to make sure I could like figure out this platform first before I took on too much. So I'm Emily C. This is so weird. Yes, this is okay. Where do I start? Let me start with the Wilbur show. So, do you know when you have a feeling like the universe is like pushing you to something, but you don't really know like where or why? When Turtle Boy announced their Wilbur show, I looked at our calendar and my husband was going to be away and we didn't have a babysitter. And I was like, this is such a bummer. I am not going to get to go to the show. Like, this is awful. And every time that he talked about it, I just like kept having this feeling like you are going to go to the show, but I like wasn't. Like, we didn't have a babysitter. I didn't have anybody to watch my son. And one day I was sitting like looking up tickets, and I was like, why am I looking at tickets right now? Like, you literally can't go to the show. And then Jimmy called me and he was like, hey, I was just planning the Wilbur show with Turtle Boy. Like, are you going? And I was like, why? And he was like, well, Turtle Boy asked for you by name and like wants you to do a skit. And I was like, oh, shoot. Okay. So I got my ticket, and hold on, this screenshot like really makes me happy because it was literally 11:30 and I was like looking up tickets, and then he called me 45 minutes later and was like, hey, come be in the show. So anyways, that's how I ended up here. And I am really excited about it. I don't know how people do this where they're talking and reading the comments at the same time. It's very impressive. I'm realizing now like how incredible all these people are that I watch every day that can like multitask, because I don't have that brain. Okay. Yes. So how I ended up there. So like that's the end. I was a kindergarten teacher for 15 years. I left the classroom in 2023. And it was like the perfect time to get fully 100% immersed, take over my entire life with the Karen Reed trial. I live in Norfolk County. I live basically, if you drew a straight line from 34 Fairview to the Dedham Courthouse, I'm like smack dab in the middle. So it was obviously, like you all know, it was just like captivating anyways and kind of sucks you in. But on top of that, like driving past 34 Fairview to go to where my husband golfs, and like driving past the courthouse all the time is just made it like, oh, this is something that's like on TV and I see all these pictures, and also it's like real life. The first Karen Reed trial, I didn't know that like any of this world existed. So I basically like raw dogged the entire first trial. I watched the NBC 10 stream. I didn't know about LawTube. I didn't have anybody like breaking this down for me. I wasn't on Twitter. I did listen to Turtle Boy shows when they were released as like podcasts on Spotify. And then the retrial, I ended up on Twitter and was so happy that I found out about all of this, because then I got to have this whole little community. Okay, this every day of the retrial, I wrote a diary from Hank or Lally's perspective. And I did it on the first day of the trial, and people in the comments were like, now you need to do this every day. And when I started doing it every day, I felt like by the end of the trial, I like fully got into Hank's brain in a very weird way, where I could like read his mind. And that's a weird place. I don't recommend it. Thank you, Broken Baker. But I ended up making the diary into a book that you can download. The link is in the description. Oh no, of course. And you can have a copy of it. It's yours to download. And I added, okay, this was fun. Please work. Okay. I added quotes from the trial as coloring pages. And I made, this is the best one. I made activity pages. So there's like word search and help Shannon Burgess get his degree, maze. This is Phil and Proctor's dirty words in the crossword puzzle. Yes, for free. It's yours. You can give yourself a diploma from Twitter University or Twitter Law School. The best Lally quote of all, who, if anyone, was driving the ambulance. Yeah. So I was a kindergarten teacher for 15 years. As you can see, it's still basically like in my DNA, and I don't have like an outlet for that now. So this has been a really good little outlet for me to be able to, I was a problem child. I wasn't a problem child. I think what made me a good teacher is that I was an active child. I was, when I was a kid, if I liked my teacher and if I was like interested in what we were doing, I was like best student in the world, crisscross applesauce, like, and if I wasn't, then I would terrorize my class and my teacher and just like do annoying stuff. But I think that made me a good teacher because I could like connect with those kids that were just needing a little bit of like, come on in, like join the class, let's have fun. Yes, I have ADHD, and you'll figure that out pretty quickly. I left teaching because my son was 2.5 and he was diagnosed with autism, and now I'm a stay-at-home mom with him. He's 4.5 now, and if I start talking about him, I'm never going to stop. But he's nonverbal, pre-verbal, still trying to figure all that out. So now I stay home with him, and we go to a lot of speech therapy and a lot of support and people that are on his team to help him. And I have an earbud in my ear at all times, listening to whoever's on. And that, okay, I wrote myself notes so that I don't get all like crazy. So let me see. We're obsessed with Bluey in my house. Like, the Healer family is literally a part of my family. And we're going to break down some Bluey episodes on here at some point, because I genuinely think if all adults watched one episode of Bluey a day, like the world would be a better place. I know every single word to every single episode. My house is literally like living in a Bluey museum. We showed Carter Bluey when he was like 10 months old, and he's literally never watched another show ever. He's never been interested in watching anything else. So I love how much you guys all like Bluey. It's literally like for people who don't know, let me just explain Bluey to you. This is not where I expected this to go. Welcome to my brain. Bluey is a show from Australia. It is done by like their version of PBS. And it's about the Healer family, their dogs. Bluey is a girl. And the episodes are 7.5 minutes, and they have a full like movie plot within 7 minutes. There's like, I've laughed, I've cried, I've learned, I've become a better parent from watching Bluey. And yes, you do need to Google Bluey. Well, we can watch it on here together. I don't know if that's like, I'm not monetized yet, so I don't know if there's like copyright that I should like sneak in right now while I can and do all the like illegal stuff today. But yeah, so that's my Bluey note. Some other things about myself. I started making a list of the things about myself, and then it felt like those parts of like a movie where there's like a girl who's like trying to be so quirky, and she's like, I only like toasted bread with butter on one side. And then that was stupid, so I deleted it. basically all you need to know about me is that I never understand any movie or TV references, and I don't know the names of any actors. So I'm sorry about that. It always goes over my head. Hi, Altman, I love you. You're the reason why I'm here. There's like 3 shows that I've seen and like 5 movies, and I've seen them all 100 times. So if you want to talk The Good Place, Friends, or The Office, great. Anything else, I don't really know what you're talking about. I made a list of things that I was scared of about doing this. I was scared of having to stay still, which is going okay right now. I was scared of talking to myself, which is not going so well, I don't think. I was scared. I wrote here, I'm the opposite of whatever Jen McCabe is, where she just like lies about everything. I'm scared. I'm like an open book, and I'm afraid that I'm just going to like blurt out my social security number for no reason. So if I start saying things that are like things you're not supposed to share on the internet, please do like alarms in the chat or something so that I zip it. And I'm scared of all the mean people online. But lately the trolls have actually been really funny. So I made a post yesterday about how odd it sounded when that Dilly, when he was calling John O'Keefe JJ over and over again, and he's talking about like such serious, like the most serious thing in the world, in the most serious setting in the world. And he's like, and then JJ, and then JJ, and JJ. And I made a post about how it sounded disrespectful to call him that. And then there was a troll this morning that was like, oh, and I said that it reminded me of JJ from Cocomelon, because like that's all I could think of every time that he said JJ. And there was a troll this morning that was like, you need to have more respect than putting a cartoon character, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's what I'm saying. We agree. Like that was weird and disrespectful. And they should call him Officer John O'Keefe and put some respect on his name. And the troll was like, blah, blah, blah. So I'm scared of mean people, but sometimes sometimes they just take care of themselves. The very first time that the trolls ever came for me was back when I was still like raw dogging the trial and just like watching by myself. I joined the Karen Reed is guilty group on Facebook because I thought it was like, oh my God, is that true? That's so silly. I joined the anti-group on Facebook because like I like to know how people think something different from me. I think that's how we learn. I think that's how you like improve your argument, by understanding what the other side thinks. So I joined that group. I didn't realize it was like an exclusive club. And they were like, we found you in the group. And they started like doxing me, even though it was like all public things that I shared about myself. And that's when I started blocking everybody, because that was weird. But it's still scary. Like I know that it's not personal, but it is still just like, I didn't realize that something, a trial that really, like it does impact us, because like living in Norfolk County, if people can get away, if like the authorities who are supposed to be in charge can get away with things like this, then it does impact us, and that is scary. But who I think is is guilty or innocent and who somebody else thinks is guilty or innocent really doesn't have an impact on anything. And that was what weirded me out, was that people were willing to go this far of just like bashing other people and doxing and all of that, just because they disagree about like who they think is guilty or innocent. That is it's just that was weird to me. Actually, so teaching kindergarten, I was thinking about how like why teaching kind of like led me to getting interested in like following trials and following the justice system. And I think there was a lot in kindergarten that transfers over to this like trial world. Like on the first day of kindergarten, you can't just say to kids like, okay, everybody be nice. Like that doesn't mean anything. And you have to really spell out like what it looks like to be nice, what it sounds like to be nice, what the right things to do are, what the wrong things to do are. And teaching for so long, I kind of like started to see the world with that lens. And so to me now, it's like, it's very clear when there's something that's wrong, and that it's very clear that we should do something about it. And I think that's what this whole like movement has been. And it's been really cool to see the way that people really can notice that something is wrong, speak up, and then really make a difference. I've really loved that. It just hit me that this is happening, and I'm just sitting here talking and had a tiny little panic attack. The other thing I wanted to do today for people who are new to me, I wanted to share some of the videos that I made that kind of like led me to the Wilbur in the first place, and kind of show you where my head was at, like going along during the trial, before the trial, and during the trial. So it feels a little self-indulgent, but I want to show you a couple of the videos that kind of like led to me being here talking to myself right now. And I want to see if I can figure out how to do this so that you guys can hear it. So let's see. This video was the first one that kind of like led me to Twitter. If you think Karen Read is guilty, or if you're even on the fence and you're not quite sure, I have a fun and easy experiment that I would love for you to do. This experiment is based on this map showing that all 47 pieces of Karen Read's taillight were found on the front yard at 34 Fairview, and this diagram from the Mass State Police showing the date that each piece of taillight was recovered. These last pieces were found by Michael Proctor on February 18th, 2022, and remember the incident happened on January 29th, 2022. So here's the experiment. Go outside and break something in front of your house, and then in 3 weeks, go get the pieces and see how many are on your front yard and put it back together. I wouldn't use anything polycarbonate because that doesn't typically shatter. Which it actually does. I learned that from Arca. I didn't know that could shatter. And probably don't use glass because you don't want to give your neighbors a flat tire. And before you start talking to me about a plow, I've lived in Massachusetts all 39 years of my life. I know the difference between a plow and a snowblower. Also, while we're on the topic of snow, Proctor found these pieces on February 8th, these pieces on the 11th, and these pieces on the 18th. I live 10 minutes from 34 Fairview, and I took this picture on February 9th, this picture on February 12th, and this picture on February 17th. See, this is why metadata is helpful. Proctor was searching like 30 feet of grass. Why did it take you 3 searches to find these pieces? So if you do the experiment, let me know how it goes. So I have a whole video that I want to do going through some of their testimony about actually how ridiculous it sounded when they talked about the snow melting and revealing pieces, and how when Higgins was driving away from 34 Fairview that night, he said, "Oh, I couldn't see where John's body was because there was a big snowbank in front of me." There was like, the snow was not actually a factor at all. The snow came after everything else. If they had done a normal investigation, the snow would not have been a factor at all because they would have gone inside the house where there is no snow, and then the amount of snow would not have mattered at all. Enough to track a cat. Exactly. Literally the best line in any trial. So that was how I kind of like meandered my way onto Twitter. And then I started making little parody videos about the trial. And I want to show you this one. I think this is okay. I think this is the first. Okay. This, I just want to pat myself on the back because I made this video before the trial started, and I pretty much called Hank's entire trial strategy before he even got going.
Like to have a sidebar before we start? Your Honor, they're smiling at Mr. Jackson, but not at me. Jurors, before we start, I'd like to remind each of you what you are tasked with during this trial. I know Mr. Brennan looks like a weasel, and he seems like the kid in your class who reminded the teacher that they forgot to give you homework. He might have even called the cops on some of your parties in high school. And I know Mr. Jackson is all Hollywood. Just wait till you see Mr. Wolf. But don't let that interfere with the facts of the case against Miss Reed. Mr. Brennan, you may proceed. Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important thing you need to know is that Arca is stupid. Don't listen to anything they have to say. Miss Reed said, I hit him, so she did. Case closed. The end. We can all go home now.
Like, tell me that's not literally the entire trial in a nutshell. And we all kept waiting for like the big reveal where there was gonna be some science that told us something, and temperature and the phone, and no, that was it. Arca is stupid, and Karen said I hit him, so she did. The end. So that was before the trial. Then I just started making videos kind of to entertain myself, because it's devastating. Like what Karen was and is still being put through is devastating. And if you can't find like a little bit to laugh about in it, then it really can start to mess up your head, and to think about like what they're willing to put her through and still put her through is really devastating. So I think it's good to try to find the humor in it. So this was the this was the first video that I made of like the actual trial coverage.
I'd like to start with the most simple question that we ask every single expert witness.
No, wait, that's not the
Dr.
first one.
Welcher,
Nope. This
are
one.
you aware
Got
that the defendant said to Anthony Flamate, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him? Yes, I was made aware of that. Oh, were you aware that she said to my best friend Nuttall, Mayev, have I hit him? Yes, I was told before I wrote my report. Oh, well, did anyone ever try to get you to change your report? Well, Michael Proctor said my family would have immunity for life. Strike that. You were asked if there were any signs of frostbite. There was no type of freezer burns or anything on Mr. O'Keefe's body that would suggest that he was put into some type of machine or mechanical. Jurors, strike that. Mr. Brennan used to work for Whitey Bulger, and sometimes he still has flashbacks. Your Honor, may I approach? I'd like to change our timeline and theory of the case. Of course, come here. Jurors, please forget everything you've been told so far in this case. This happens sometimes. It's completely normal. We do this when the case is not going well for the Commonwealth. We need to make sure that Karen Reed is convicted because Colin never went in the house and the Alberts had nothing to do with this.
Yeah. Like what was going on? Like why did he ask if he had been put in a freezer? Like what like I actually don't think Hank Brennan is stupid. So what was he expecting? Like I just really curious what he was thinking in that moment. Um Yeah, sometimes we have 3 shoes. I think there's 3 shoes. I can't go that's the Glares thing to the shoes, but I think they bought a shoe or something because that shoe that they held in court, that's just a beautiful brand new shoe that was not in snow. Like, if you're from this area or somewhere cold, you know that when you're walking around and they're treating the roads for the snow. There's salt, there's dirt. Your shoes are disgusting. Even if they were brand new shoes and you wore them outside for 10 seconds, it gets all like caked in. There was there was not anything. There was not a scuff on that brand new shoe. Um, we we need to find out the answers to all of this. Also, I'm curious if any of you guys know. See, it's ping pong in here. If fingers crossed, um, they end up dropping everything in Aiden's cases, can they still unimpound all of those big blocked out areas in all of the paperwork? Because if not, I feel like he needs to take one for the team and like keep it going a little longer until they unimpound everything. Like nope, like they won't unimpound everything. They're probably gonna make that like I don't know what the word is, like an agreement in the terms, like, okay, we'll drop all the charges if you never tell anybody what Jen McCabe texted to Michael Morrissey, which is ridiculous. Anyway, so then Judson Welcher came into our lives and he was just like the gift that kept on giving because like, what is wrong with that man? Like, again, another person who clearly is not dumb. I mean, he might be dumb, but has a degree, like he's educated. He knows that what he's saying is BS. And still, I mean, I guess the things that people do for money. So
I'll allow it.
this was when Judson Welcher came into our life.
I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Dr. Judson Welcher. Which part of your arm has more paint? I didn't measure it, so there's no way to know anything. Who was driving the Lexus? What? Did you say dyslexic? Huh? Good afternoon, Dr. Welcher. Actually, it's good morning. According to my calculations, if you take 300 G's times a 12-pound arm, it's certainly possible. It's possible you could have shot off into space as an engineer. Your Honor, I'm not done answering the question. Sorry, what? I can shove this pencil into my hand. I'll do it right now. Judge, permission to bleed? I could hit you with a 5-pound pillow. I could hit you with a 2x4. In 1974, we measured the occiput boner. You want to know what happens when I spread my load out when I lay in my bed?
Like, he was the moment that I realized I didn't need to even like parody what they said. I could literally just read from the trial channel's transcripts, and that was how ridiculous the entire trial was. Because what I hope he comes back. I mean, I don't. I do. I hope he comes back for the civil trial, just for the. Or can we start like following where he ends up? Like, where is he testifying now? Can we watch that? Because him and Shano were just the gift that kept on giving. I think I have one more Judson Welcher. Is this him?
Where did you graduate from?
Oh, no. Okay, this is Shano. So his name is Shano because he kept saying that his name is Shannon with one N. Shannon normally has 3 N's. So Shano has 1 N. And that's about how smart that man was.
Sure. So my mama always said I was too smart for college. Ah, yes you are, sweetie. How do you spell your name? Sure. It's Shannon with 1 N. Do you know the word mendacity? Hey, you know, this CV isn't as bad as you're making it seem. I mean, in Massachusetts it is, but in Alabama, it's only 2009. I graduated high school last year. Well, when Mr. Alisi was asking you those questions, he did not ask you, do you always follow the rules? Well, I went right from high school to a job protecting cops and insurance agencies, so there really aren't very many rules for me. So it's almost like you're like Steve Jobs or like Oprah, right? Do you have them in Alabama yet?
I would love whoever just said a documentary on where man Shannon is now. Like, that's another thing I would watch. If he started a YouTube channel, I would be so happy. I would be his first subscriber. I would have him on my show. This is a standing invitation to any Deaver, you want to come on? Judd, Shano, I would love to chat. I just have some questions, like about morality and about when you decide that like this is a line that I'm willing to cross and there's no turning back, because I don't know. I don't think you could pay me to do what they did. Like, I don't think so. Where in the world is man Shannon? Yeah. Where in the world? Yeah, I would watch that. I Googled mendacity. There were a lot of words that I Googled from Alessi. I also Googled, listen, I know Lindsay Catani's video the other day was really a lot. And a lot without saying, she basically said nothing, but she said vexatious. I didn't know that word. I learned a whole new word from an intoxicated, like secret government agent turned fake victim turned, yeah, that was shocking. Vexatious. I forget what it means now. So it didn't make an impression, but now I know the word. Now I know how to say it. Here's some more Judd.
How did you become the smartest and best engineer to ever exist? Well, I wanted to be a doctor, but my dad said, don't you dare follow in my footsteps. Do you know the word variance? Sure. It's when we know the right answer, but it's not the right answer for us, so we have to do some math. This is your hand, the occiput boner. Most people call this whole thing your arm. Your Honor, may I do a costume change? Karen, do you think I look cool? Tell me about John. Sure. He was 73 inches tall. His favorite food was pizza. His favorite show was The Masked Singer. He loved to a reasonable degree of engineering certainty. I climbed in the Lexus. I went over it, under it. I did a whole bunch of things looking at Miss Reed's Lexus. Your Honor, may I put my thinking cap on? That's better. Oh, this was just some content for my social media.
Why did he want to put the hat on? That's another thing. Like, did he think that we don't know where hats go? He wanted to say like, oh, see, a hat is right here. And so obviously the hat is why John has an enormous gash in the back of his head. But he could just explain what a hat was. You guys are the best. Vexatious in law, denoting an action or the bringer of an action that is brought without sufficient grounds for winning, purely to cause annoyance to the defendant. Good to know. I don't think I'll ever use that in my daily life, but I'm glad I know it now. Yeah, I just had that little panic attack again where I realized that I'm still here just talking to myself. I don't know how people do this. anytime that I have these little panics, I'm just going to start talking about Bluey, talking about my kid. Um, I love that. You're wonderful. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much. My son has autism and is nonverbal. He'll be 35 in October. That I just love that. So I applaud your life decisions. My son loves Bluey and Disney movies. I love that. That makes me so happy. It's hard. It's like it's so parenting a kid with autism is so special because the milestones that I think typically parents like expect and are just like excited, like, yay, we got to this milestone, yay, we got to that milestone, are so much. Not that I don't want to say like more, but I we have to make our like kind of have our own idea of what the milestones are that are going to be for him. And so when like he first repeated a word and he first said it 3 words in a row, like these little teeny tiny stepping stones feel like such big milestones. And it's exciting, it's special, it's hard. Like there are times when I go out, like, well, I'll be out at a restaurant and I see like 2 kids the same age as my son, just like sitting and chit-chatting with their family and eating a meal. We can't do that. Like, he's just not, we can't do that yet. So it's hard, but he's the cute. Also, like, these are the things where it's like, I don't know if you're supposed to share like pictures and stories and stuff, but I think I'm gonna because he's my favorite person in the entire world. And getting to spend every day with him is really special. Let's watch some Kelly Deaver stuff now.
Have you seen something you wish you could unsee? Has it left you with memories you wish you never had? Were you once ambitious and hopeful, but now find yourself angry all the time? Introducing Meetings with Commissioner Cox. In Meetings with Commissioner Cox, you can replace those unwanted memories with false memories created in good faith. Meetings with Commissioner Cox work because he once had memories he didn't want to have. Operators are standing by now to take your call. Don't spend another day acting like an obstinate child. Get your life back today with Meetings with Commissioner Cox. And tell your friends about Meetings with Commissioner Cox because you never know who has memories that they also want to forget. Meetings with Commissioner Cox. Replace your unwanted memories today. Claims that your new memories are not lies and that you can't be charged with anything malicious are not verified.
The whole thing with Commissioner Cox, I'm not going to do anything like extra that I didn't plan today because that's overwhelming, but I want to go on a walk down memory lane of Commissioner Cox's life because he should have done the right thing in this case, and not like the right thing, but like literally the right thing, because he has some things in his past that should have made him know what the right thing was, but no. I just saw something I wanted. Oh no. Oh, that's. Thank you. I have so many ideas of things I want to do with this. I have some guests that I've talked to that I want to have on. I posted about this, so I had an idea just to kind of like build this community. Like we see each other, all of our names in the chat every day and kind of like become friends that way. But I wanted to start to bring some people on and have conversations just so that we can all kind of get to know each other a little bit more. And I really do think that like in the world in general, the more that people can see each other as humans, the more peaceful like the world is. And I want to help create that space where we can get to know each other as real people. So thank you to so many of you who have already reached out. I have a whole list. Eventually, I would like to have like a standing time where I do this every day at every Tuesday at a certain time. Right now, it is based on whenever Carter gives me the time and space. So originally in my head, I had planned to do this on Sunday, and then he was up at 3 a.m. and then he didn't go to his grandparents. So we're all on Carter's schedule right now. But eventually, this will make this into a regular thing, and I'll have a real plan, and I'll know how to do it. Today was mostly about like ripping the Band-Aid and figuring out what all of this is. My best friend the other day, I was telling her about all of this, and she was saying like something like, "Oh, you're really good at everything you do." And I was like, "No, I only do things that I'm really good at. And if I don't think I'm going to be good at something, I just don't do it." And this is one space that I just had to do it even when I don't know what doing it looks like. So I'm proud of myself for ripping the Band-Aid and just doing this. Oh, thank you. See, I'm proud of myself. It's good to be proud of yourself. This is my third Celsius today. So this is unofficially sponsored by Celsius. That's everything that I really wanted to do today. Do you guys have any questions or anything else that we want to do today? I really appreciate you guys so much. Like I never really understood when people online would say things like, thank you for being here. Like, this is a great community. Like I was never close enough within like influencers saying that to really understand what they meant by that. But now it like getting to talk to the same people and getting to know you guys and having this like shared interest and shared mission to like hold people accountable that did something wrong and to get justice for people who didn't really does feel like this is a real community. Oh my gosh. Okay. So was it like impersonating John DePietro? So after Jimmy asked me to do that, I had never done that first video that I made that I posted about being John DePietro was because I just wanted to like try. So after he asked me, I only watched John DePietro content for 2 weeks straight. And that is a strange individual. Do you guys know the whole story? So he basically did what he's like now so upset that Aiden did to the McAlberts. He did that to a man. I'm not going to get all the details correct, but like basically there was this man who definitely took out a woman, and John DePietro went to his house and did the exact same thing that Aiden had. And the guy came out and got his lawnmower, turned the lawnmower on and attacked John DePietro with a lawnmower, almost ran him over with it, like threw this lawnmower at him. We should watch that video sometime. But I think John DePietro is actually funny. Like in the video where he when he broke the taillight, he was saying like the funniest things that I really think he knew were funny when he kept saying like this taillight was planted. Like that's really funny. But that is a strange man. When I started making my like script for what I was going to say at the Wilbur, I was driving around just going, listen, turtle, you got to watch your language. Got to watch your language. I'm already alive. Like, why does he sound like that? I saw some other colors questions. One was, what's my favorite color, which is the cutest question because that's what little kids ask. And I can't find it now, but I love whoever just said that. My favorite color is bright green, but like not to wear, just like to look at, like a chartreuse. My favorite color to wear is probably blue. Was I nervous on stage? Yes. I didn't know we were going to be sitting in those chairs on the stage. So when I sat down, my entire body was like, and then I looked next to me and like perfect Melanie Little with her like Barbie doll long legs was just sitting there like so calm and cool with her like high heels on. And I was like sweating. Yes, I was so nervous. If they ever release the video, the one thing that I'm dreading and like so embarrassed about is like my hand. I was shaking so bad. So like I kept trying not to hold my like note cards so that people couldn't see that I was shaking, but also I needed them. So I was like, yes. And then even afterwards, like, you know, that feeling you get like afterwards, like I was still nervous, but then I was also relieved it was over. And it was kind of a whole adrenaline rush. Like my whole body just felt like, oh my God, what just happened? But it was like literally the coolest experience of my entire life. Like, what do you mean I was on stage at a sold out show at the Wilbur? Like, what? Yeah, my ass was sweating. Yes. I was actually like really worried when I stood up. I was like, I hope nobody else sits down in that chair for a couple of minutes. Yeah. When someone just said, I'm sure nobody knew, you would have known if you talked to me because I was literally like, I'm freaking out and panicking. Also, so when I was getting ready for the show, I texted Jimmy and I was like, can you just tell me like the order of the show so that I know like when I should go up? And he was like, yeah, like we're going to do like something, then intermission, and then the roast. And I was like, great. I have like until the intermission. I'm just gonna like sit down and relax. And then when we got to the show, he was like, welcome everybody. Like today's going to be a great night. And we're going to have like something, then we're going to have the roast, and then we're going to have intermission. And I was like, wait, I'm sorry, what? So then all of a sudden, like Erica was like, Emily C. And I was whisked backstage and the like door opens up and I was like, oh my God, it was like Melanie Little, Betterow, Blair, Nurse Kim, like why, who am I to just be like suddenly here? That was crazy. But it was, yeah, it was so much fun. And like I said about the community, like this is just such a cool thing to be a part of where just like you guys are such a amazing group. And it's just very cool to like be this kind of obsessed with something and to know that like so many other people are too. I've gotten obsessed with other things in the past where I'm just kind of like in my own little world, just like I got obsessed with space for a little while. Like nobody else wanted to talk about space. Like you read a good book and then you're kind of like, hey, does anybody else know this book? And like nobody else does. It's very cool to be in this group of people that are just as like motivated and excited and like on the same page together. Yeah, it's just very cool. I'm trying to read all the comments now. I'm very now doing this. I'm so impressed with the way every other streamer that I watch like is so seamless about like yes, I was an AI baby in one of the like early videos. Also the person who runs the AI baby account is so nice. Like that is just like very nice. I don't know who they are, but the messages that they sent leading up to this is a very nice person. So whoever you are, I think you're very nice. Yeah, like this video, do all the things. but like don't share it too much because I don't really want, I'm not trying to like get big. I just want our little crew to like be friends. Yeah, any other questions or anything? Am I missing anything? Is there anything else I'm supposed to do? Also, this about normal moms, like the fact that if Jen McCabe and Donna Adelson are telling us that they're normal, like, I don't want to be normal. I want to be like real normal. He doesn't really know any of this. I mean, he does, but he's very excited. He was excited that I was going to do this. But he doesn't follow the trial at all and really has no idea about anything. And then when I finally try to be like, okay, wait, this crazy thing just happened. There's so much backstory that goes into it that it's like, I don't even know how to catch you up. No, because does he mind that you're always wearing his jackets and ties? Also, one thing I said to myself, because I'm never watching on the screen when I am watching people on YouTube, I just like always have an earbud in. And I never like it when people don't read the comments and just respond to it. And now I'm doing the thing I don't like. I'm sorry to myself. Does he mind that you're always wearing his jackets and ties? No, because I put them back very neatly and nicely and I don't mess them up. I don't see memberships anywhere. I have no idea how to do that, but I will figure that out. And maybe if we do memberships, then then we can just like all chit chat as like friends. I don't know what I would do if there was membership. These are things I need to learn. You will have to come up with your welcome catchphrase and signing off catchphrase. Yes, please. And if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Oh, you know how Jimmy's always like, no suggestions, don't tell me what to do. I am the opposite. Like if you have an idea, tell me. If you have a suggestion, tell me. I can't like promise I'm going to do it, but most of the things that people have suggested to me have become some of my very favorite videos or very favorite posts or whatever. So if you have ideas, let me know. My email address is in the description of the video. You can message me on X. Yeah, I need like a whole like my little like shtick of like how to welcome people and like we're building the plane while we're flying it. We'll get there someday. The trial channel is my mod right now, and I will get more, but the person who does the trial channel is my favorite person on the internet. And if you're ever going to watch trial recaps, do it from trial channel because it's the best. Okay, I'm going to be done now. That was an hour. That was good. I did it. You guys are seriously the best. This was really fun and it was actually about as scary as I thought it was going to be, but also fun. Wait. Take this as a compliment. I think you are a trial, Miss Rachel. Thank you. It's literally the nicest thing you could possibly say. I want to be like Miss Rachel for adults, but not, yeah. Trial Miss Rachel. I'm obsessed with that. You guys, thank you so much for being here, for doing this. We did it. Yay. Okay, now you can watch Hank's closing statements. Bye.
John Keefe was 46 years old. Psst, Peg, time to cry, because remember, oopsies, you thought he was 45. John John Keefe was not a buffalo on the prairie. When I was a kid, I used to throw boulders off of bridges. Ah, what a thrill. The dater is the dater. And tonight, I'm going on a dater with Shannon Welcher. We have no idea how the collision happened, but if you have any doubts left, remember this. My best friend, Jen McCabe, said Bella's mom. Of course Karen hit him. Speaking of Jen McCabe, she's a soccer mom. She doesn't use Signal like Arca. She keeps everything right out in the open, like how long until John dies in the cold. Didn't need Michael Proctor. Tully is our Uber driver now. As the trial ends, we remember Barrows lied not, Kelly Dever. I know our times changed to whatever, but cops can't solve crime in bad weather.